So, Butta, what's on your mind?
Okay. So I don't know if you all are aware. I would hope that you're aware. J. Cole.
Yeah.
Have you listened to it?
Yeah.
What are we listening to?
His new mixtape. And it's not album style.
Yes.
So album is where it tells a story, right? Mixtape, it could be all over the place, right? Mm-hmm. I have been a J. Cole fan since his mixtapes before he even became mainstream, right? All right?
Oh, okay.
So the come up, the warm up, Friday Night Lights, all of that, right? I remember the very specific song that got me hooked. My best friend, he sends me this song. He's like, you got to listen to this. Losing My Balance.
Okay.
From the warm up, right?
Okay.
So then I'm like, that's 2009.
Right.
So then I'm like, okay, I got to go find all of his stuff. So I go back, I look at the come up, right? That was 2007. Right. This mixtape that he just dropped takes me back to his old mixtapes. Yeah. Like, I like J. Cole albums, don't get me wrong. I do. But this mixtape takes me back to the Cole that I felt. Cole World, no Snuggie, okay? I went so far back. Like, I can't even, he has so much of that classic Cole cadence in this mixtape. Yeah. You know, Hunting Wabbits is one of my favorites. Hide Your Bitch. Remember, Monster? I told you it was going to wrap around. Hide Your Bitch. Not Hide Your Kids. Right. Hide Your Bitch. That's another one. Sticks and Stones is another good one on there. Like, they were all great. What's your favorite?
Oh, man. So, just to give Cake's probably a little background.
Yeah, if you haven't listened, yeah.
So there's a lot of beef going on with some of the top artists right now in hip hop rap.
Yes.
And three who a lot of people will consider the top three are Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and J. Cole. J. Cole mentions that they're the big three. Kendrick didn't like that. Mm-hmm. Kendrick comes out and says, there is no big three, there's just big me. Mm-hmm. And he calls them out. Everyone's like, oh, man, because, it's Kendrick. You're like, what's going on here? Mm-hmm. J. Cole responds.
In 7-minute drill.
And it's like, oh, no. This is because J. Cole is a lyricist. He's so fundamentally good with his words that this beef is different because it's wordplay beef. These guys are really digging in. And it's one of those where you got to listen to it a few times, but what makes it so interesting, at least for me too, like no one knew this mixtape was like really getting dropped. I didn't know.
It was a surprise.
It was a surprise.
Yeah, unless people were like truly digging in and looking for stuff. It was a surprise.
Right. And I only heard about it because another coworker heard about it on the news. That's how big it was. It was on the ABC News. And he was like, what? Because they were making it like a national story. So he's like, after he heard it, immediately starts listening to it. He's on the bus into work. As soon as he gets to work, he's like, whoo. So now we're all like, we got to listen to it. And I don't really listen to music that often when I'm at work. I don't really get the time to. But I was like, I'll make the time. Mm-hmm. I listen to this, and I'm just like, wow. Like, he went hard. And for me, with J. Cole, I feel like he's kind of got the common treatment where everyone forgot how good he was, and they consider him soft, and he kind of had some, he had some albums or songs that you're like, oh, he's kind of losing it. This dude came out with
it was like
fire.
Listen, in case you forgot.
Exactly. And it's like, it's the wordplay. It's the everything. And I mean, it's remarkable because this is not the like, oh, you wear your pants backwards, blah, 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 like trying to make fun of them. This is like crazy. And it just shows their skill levels.
Yeah, he makes you feel the lyric. Like, it doesn't matter what he's talking about or whether you can relate to it. You can feel his shit in your soul.
Where can I find this? Where can I find this?
Spotify.
All right, I'll look it
it's
up.
Called Might Delete Later.
Might Delete Later. Yeah. Love it. That's fucking clever. But I have one question.
Yeah.
What's one song I might know from him?
Oh, no.
guy is?
I mean,
I'm sure I've heard some, but who the fuck is it?
What?
I was thinking the same thing.
A white guy like me? Tell me one song.
Your fucking history?
You know what?
Really?
Come on, I'm diverse, but I'm not that diverse.
Oh,
and tell me what.
man.
No, I know.
What's the
I've
title of the
heard
song
them. I've
that
heard
he-
them. I just don't pay attention.
Mr. fucking Eazy-E
I don't-
every fucking karaoke, and you don't know who J. Cole is?
I don't
am mad
pay
at you
attention
right now.
to music. It's not my thing.
I don't pay attention to new people. He's not new.
I just don't pay attention to music.
He's been
Even-
producing, well, at least putting music
Even
out
in my
since
day,
almost
I
20
didn't pay
years now.
attention to music. It's just there was a period of time where I learned a couple songs. One of them was frickin' Boys in the Hood.
The one song I think you might know, it was pretty popular. He did a song called "Cricket Smile,"
Sing it.
but he
Please don't.
not gonna happen.
Put the beat down.
But he did a song called "Cricket Smile," which was a TLC beat, right? And he actually had TLC,
Like No Scrubs.
yeah. But he had them in the song because it was a line like I think it was from one of their songs. The whole it was a line about like smiling or something like that. But it was a popular song. I would think that would be the song you might have heard. Like I'm trying to think of what would have been on the
Yeah,
radio.
I can't think of.
He had to work
There was
out.
a period in time where I didn't listen to radio forever.
I haven't listened to the radio in forever.
But
Well, the thing too is with J.
I'm sure
Cole,
I'll know him when
he's
I hear him.
educated. So in the rap world, when you're educated, you're already like,
What do you
oh,
mean
you're not-
educated? Like got a
Like
college
went to
degree?
college, got a degree.
So many hip hop people went to college.
Yeah,
Maybe-
true.
yeah.
But I mean, there was that stigma about like, oh, you went to college, oh, you're a schoolboy.
Got it,
You're
got
not
it.
from the streets.
I challenge you
can-
to go and listen and
I
find
will.
J. Cole.
I will. That's why I
I think
asked.
you'll like
That's
it.
why I
Yeah.
asked. Text me later so I know what it is at 10 p.m. That's a throwback, but that's another show. Text me so I know what to look for, as I'm saying. Like, so I
Yes.
know what to look up because I'm not
Yeah.
going to remember what you told me.
Yes.
And he can't start with this one at all.
No.
Okay.
No, hey, I did it with Kanye.
Yeah, that's a bad move.
What?
What do you mean? It
No,
started
I,
with,
said,
like,
I
his
thought I
latest
didn't like
stuff, or-
Kanye, but
Oh,
then I
okay.
realized I never gave the guy, I never listened to a single fucking album.
Right.
I'm gonna have
And
to
then I
call
went
out
back
some very
and
specific
did it,
songs for you to listen
And then
to.
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, this is, and as soon as I turn it on, I'm bopping. I'm like, God damn it, this is good. But P. Diddy, I never did like P. Diddy. But
Fair.
I had a point, and I forgot what it was. It'll return.
Okay, so while it returns, back to the whole diss track thing, though.
Mhm.
From what I'm reading, they're saying that Kendrick won,
Wait. So
which
So,
devastates me.
so
I
J.
actually
Cole
haven't
comes
even-
out with a diss track. Comes out with a mixtape, and he's out there
with his
he's
diss track on
dissing.
it. Yes.
And then Kendrick comes back, Mr. Lamar. As
He hasn't come back yet.
Yeah, no. Kendrick was
started it,
first.
yeah.
Oh,
He
I see,
started
I
it.
see, I see. He
J.
started the
Cole
beef.
was like, "Yo,
Responds.
this is what I'm saying to
And-
you," and then now they're saying Kendrick technically won. I personally haven't even listened to Kendrick's because I'm not gonna promote Cole hate.
She's like, I'm not.
Got it.
Fuck, I look like.
So
True
I
fan.
remember my
Honestly,
point, but we'll come back.
it's one of those where I don't know. In my opinion, no one won because I feel like it's so much easier when you have something to go back off of. Like he had fuel from Kendrick, so he was able to be like, okay, I see that, I see this, and I can get you here. So I don't know if I would say either one won. They were both good, but I think J. Cole just hit me harder because I was like, I remember I stopped what I was doing at work. It was just like,
Wait a minute.
you went hard, and it was just like because you can feel like butter. I'm saying you can feel like the passion in his voice.
Yes.
And it was like
Something about it, man. I still remember when he did that performance on, what was the host of that show? God, I can never remember his name. It was one of the Tonight Show or some shit, where he did the performance of Be Free. That shit, like, it just, man, it hits hard. And, like, to the point of tears, it hits hard. And it's just like, while I can't relate to it, you feel what he's saying, and you man, I can't even explain it, how good of a performer, not even just live performances, but just what he puts out, it hits your soul.
All right.
It hits your soul. It
I don't
does.
know. I don't know how you're gonna react to this question, but I gotta ask it because I'm curious. How real do you think this beef is?
Oh.
That was the first thing that
And
popped in my
Interesting.
mind. Knowing your
Interesting.
Before you
your
answer,
philosophy.
the reason I say that is this beef is part of the culture. It's part of
Yeah.
the music culture, especially with rap and hip hop. But there's been so many recent beefs that have been organized.
That's true.
And
Orchestrated.
And one of
Yeah.
the biggest people that owned up to that was 50 Cent. Who has
50
beef with
Cent?
I'm so mad you just said it like that.
Even I know it's 50 Cent. Come on, bro.
I'm proper.
He said 50
Excuse me,
cents.
I am proper. 50 cents with the S at the end.
Sheesh.
Who has beef with everyone?
Oh my god.
He was like with the whole Kanye thing. He was like, I called him up and said, "Hey, I got an idea. Let's do this. Let's drop the same album on the same day." It was orchestrated, but people were like, "Oh, Kanye's gonna eat up 50 gonna do this," and it just took me back because you had like East Coast, West Coast, but you didn't have social media at the same time as that. You had these conversations everywhere, barbershops everywhere, because that's the only place you can go to get your opinion on the beef out. But now it's the whole Twitter fingers.
Sure.
It's so easy to be like, I don't like you.
Especially
Or-
because I don't even feel like J. Cole is the type to even feed into that. So it almost makes it seem even more orchestrated at that point, because he's never been one to feed into the diss tracks and that kind of stuff.
He did say, though, if I'm going to come at you, you know what I mean? He said that in songs, like, if I'm going to come at you, I'm going to come at you. But it's the whole, like, not necessarily just him. We have beef now. I'm going to unfollow you on Instagram. And then, of course, all these artists' Instagrams are being recorded. So now TMZ and someone's like, well, J. Cole just unfollowed. He didn't do it, but I'm just saying, like, well, J. Cole just unfollowed Kendrick.
Yeah.
You know, but in this diss song, he actually still says, I F with Kendrick. You know, but when he went off about his albums, though.
We could be friends, but I'm going to tell it like it is.
Yeah. But it's just interesting because now with media in these frenzies, it helps them all. It's the whole, no publicity is bad publicity, but the way they do it is now you got to listen to everyone.
Well, here's the
hold on. But what doubles down on that with this is that everyone's now you got everyone dropping Drake.
What do you mean dropping?
Well, they're dropping him as like their friend. They've all done. You know, you got Future in Metro Boomin from like we don't mess with him no more. You got Rick Ross, we don't mess with him no more. And these are all people that collaborated for years together.
Oh, I see. They're dropping him.
They're dropping him, and of course he's just like, I don't need nobody. But it's what makes it seem so orchestrated is that he had a concert like after this started going, like I don't know the exact timeline, but within a few days he had, what's his name that married Travis Scott. He had one of his like Astro Head things at his concert and acting like he was pew 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 at it. And I'm like, that just seems orchestrated that you can have props for your beef so fast. And especially with Drake, because to me, he still has one of the best beef rap songs ever. Back to back. When him and Meek Mill were beefing and then fixed their relationship and now they're friends again or whatever the case. But when he did back to back, I was like, man. But then you had the beef. You heard the stories. Like he would rent out the hotel room below Meek and play the song all night long. Like different stuff like that. But I just feel like so much of it, we hear about it. Like I had the same conversation with a coworker. I was like, you knew they had beef back in the day where Ice Cube and his crew ran into NWA and their crew after he broke up and they got in a fight in the lobby. You knew they didn't like each other because it led to physical violence, beef.
Yeah.
But now it's all orchestrated between, I'm going to not do this, I'm going to unfollow this person to get a reaction out of this person because they're going to tell this person, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And it happens so fast. It's like...
So it's like WWE. It's
like
wrestling.
Who in the media is behind it? Who's like, I got a
fake.
good idea for you guys to sell some records.
Well, here's the thing. The business model, now it's like, I don't know who this guy, I mean, I know who he is, I'm sure. But now I'm going to go listen to his shit on Spotify. Is he going to get some money because of that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
You're going to get some?
Yeah.
All right. There it is. It works.
But that's the whole thing. It's like, we know it's going to generate dollars for them because you're going to have fans that be like, I'm on this side. And I was joking with a coworker. I was like, well, I was at first, I was like, well, I'm on Drake's side. You can't be talking to Drake. Drake is the prince of blah, 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 blah. Then I was like, man, I'm in Cole world again, just making fun. And I kept saying, I was like, I'm going to have the Black Ranger make a diss to one of them just so he can hop in it so I could get some eyes and attention on me. Because that's the marketing behind it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just don't
So whose
know what I
side
can
are
believe
we
anymore.
on?
Like I said, Cole World, no Snuggie.
BPR is on Cold World right now, man. That 7-minute drill, woo, wasn't even 7 minutes.
See, here's the thing, though. Minus the diss track, I still would have been talking about the mixtape.
Yeah, the whole
Got it.
mixtape was good.
Yes,
The whole-
it legit takes you back to his original days before he became mainstream and started putting out albums.
Yeah,
Got it.
and the diss track is the last track
It
on
is.
the mixtape.
Yeah.
It's the very last. So you, of course, like with any album, you start at the beginning.
Yes.
And he had Cameron on a track. I'm like, where's the last time you heard Cameron on a track? He had like
Killer Cam.
Yeah, he had a few other artists. When I was looking at the names, I was like, he is bringing it back. He's bringing it back. And of course, like any artist, they make these songs and they just kick back until they're released. But it was like, every song was just good.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this
really
is
was.
impressive. And I thought it was an album, and I got quickly corrected. They were like, this is a mixtape. I'm like, great. Can't
There
wait for
is
the
a
album.
difference.
I didn't know that. I just thought you put a group of songs together and it's an album.
No, it's
But
got to tell a
apparently
story
it's
to
gotta
be an
have
album.
a theme.
Yeah.
Is that true for all music genres?
That's a great
That's a
question.
good question. I don't know.
I don't know if other genres are putting out
Do
mixtapes.
country music artists put out mixtapes?
Let us know.
Hey, come listen to my
Man.
mixtape here I put together
Man.
at the gas station. Just trying to sell you this
Is
mixtape.
that just a rap
Just take
thing?
the $10 from my
'Cause I don't
mixtape.
even think I've heard that term used in R&B, right? I don't think I've heard that
You got
term.
the
I've
gospel
only heard
group.
it
You
used
got
as
my
rap.
mixtape.
Oh man, that
I
was
was- I had to-
great though.
I had to change
Is
my
that what that
accent.
was?
I was then still in my good old boy country accent. My mixtape.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, I don't
Interesting.
know.
You know what?
Hadn't thought about it. That's a great question. I like that.
They might
question.
just call it a sample or a sampler. You know,
So
but
I've never had a
heard it.
country music person try to sell me a CD at the gas station, but I've had hip hop artists and rappers do it a
Oh,
lot.
yeah. They gotta get their name out.
Yeah.
man.
Again, no rock band. Well, maybe rock band. Probably not though.
I don't know.
All
I
right.
don't know.
Anything else you want to say on this topic?
Cold world.
All right. I guess we're Team Cole. Is it Cole with an C-O-L?
C-O-L-E.
Jermaine.
We're
J.
Team
Cole, Jermaine Cole.
Shut up.
Jermaine.
Jermaine. Team Jermaine.
Mm.